Hello, everybody. This is Jordan with Conquering Trading and Investing. And today we're going to be launching off our first live trading streams for the New York session that we will be doing every day together. So I thank you all for being here and bearing with me. This will be published online for those who are able to view this later in the day. Now let's get started. All right, the first thing we're going to see is what's going on today. And we're going to take a brief look at the calendar. We see in about less than a little over 5 minutes, we have the ISM non-manufacturing PMI. This is a big number today the markets will be watching. We want to make sure that the slump in manufacturing is not passing over to the sector services. This is an important number. The other thing that you want to be aware of today is it is US and China news. China is now pressuring the United States to remove some of the tariffs before signing the phase 1 deal. Whether or not the US will go ahead and actually remove some of those specifically September 1st tariffs remains to be seen. Everything could be changed with a tweet. Make sure you always are trading with stop losses. Now, let's get into the charts. We are going to start off with the Euro US dollar. And, if you looked at our weekly forecast and analysis over the weekend, we did note that, yes, the Euro US dollar was very bullish. We were looking for buy side trades only, and we were looking for take profits up in this blue area, which you could see in this blue area, you had this upper line resistance of this channel right here, along with this resistance right here. So it was a really good area to go ahead and not only take profits in, but then look to maybe establish short side trades. We did note in our weekend forecast that if this trend line right here were to break, at that point, we would be looking for sells. We would be looking for shorts on this pair. I'm going to right now jump down to a lower time frame to help you see what happened. Now, yesterday we closed below this trend line, giving us a signal. You could see here when this wick did not close below the trend line, that was not a break, a violation of it. If it closes above the trend line, it is not a break. But yesterday it did close below the trend line. And then what happened is price came up and tested what was support and is now resistance, and has since been trading off. And we said if it does break this trend line, we're looking for shorts. Now, the aggressive play is to take the short right away. I didn't. How do I get into the trade now? How would you look to get short this trade? Well, you could see that the true trend is about to roll over negative. That's the first thing we are looking for. We're looking for high probability setups, which means that we're looking for everything to be going in our favor. And after that happens, the next thing we're going to wait for, because a lot of traders, what happens is as soon as they enter a trade, they find that price starts going immediately against them. And that's what's happening is because what they're doing is they're chasing price momentum, right? You have in 5 minutes a big number, what we just looked at, the ISM non-manufacturing PMI. And a lot of traders, if you're jumping in short right now because you see that, oh, wow, the US dollar is trading down today, that could change in a few minutes. What you want to do is wait for this entry CCI to come ahead over the zero line and be positive, showing that near-term price momentum is pulled away from the direction of the trend, which will be down at that point, and that's a safe entry. So we will be watching this pair for further developments. We're going to take a look at several currency pairs this morning, see what is offering any opportunity, as well as definitely take a look at Bitcoin. And the reason I want to get into looking at Bitcoin is because we are getting close to what looks like to be a possible trend change, which would offer us a really good opportunity to start taking a long position. All right, so let's take a quick look at gold before we move on. This is really interesting. Again, I'm going to drop back out to the daily. It's always nice to get that bird's eye view before you jump down to lower time frames. And this is what we were looking at. This blue box over here that you're seeing is last week's trading range. Right now, price is trading within it. We had this channel drawn in, these trend lines, and you could see that price this morning has so far bounced off this price bar, which is right now support. So you expect that to hold until it doesn't anymore. Now, you could see that right now that the trade right now could be to look for any type of longs because you are trading off of this support. You have a really low risk. You know your risk is kind of a stop loss somewhere down here. I tend to use 1/3 of the daily ATR. So say, for example, if the daily range for gold was, say, call it, 100 pips, my stop loss would be 1/3 of that. So it would be 33 pips. This is just the general guideline. Every case and circumstance is different. So right now, looking for long side trades, if you were looking to long gold, that's gonna, in 2 minutes, we have those numbers. That is what the market is gonna gear off the rest of the day, whatever those numbers look like. So you would not want to be looking to take a trade for the next 5 minutes or so. Adversely, this also offers a good opportunity to know if this does close today below this trend line support. At that point, it will be providing a great opportunity to get short gold. So I'm going to go ahead and change this flag. I'm going to give this a green light because this pair is going to be in play later today, whether it's for a long, getting long for a move back up towards the high of this channel, or if we're going to break this support right here and give us opportunity to get short. All right, let's take a look at the US dollar, Japanese yen. You could see the first thing that comes to my mind when I look at this chart is this triangle. You could see it clearly, and you can see that price right now is testing the upper end of this triangle, is looking for a breakout. The dollar seems to be strong today. If it holds in a few minutes, this could be actually a fantastic play. You could see here that sellers were just giving up and getting exhausted, which gives you this angle of the triangle. And then over here, once we break out above here, let's see the notes I have waiting for a breakout. This is from the weekly forecast. You could find that link in the description below. This gave us the plan going into this week. And now all we need to do is follow it. If we get a breakout right here to the upside of this triangle, right? So we're going to be looking for take profits all the way up over here in this area, a little below 111. We're only trading right now close to 109. That's 200 pips. That's a lot of profit potential. This looks really nice. Again, this is all going to come to, let's see what the numbers were right now. So you could see that what we had right here, we did beat. This is actually good news. This is probably going to be very dollar positive today. Let's see what happens on the US dollar, Japanese yen, as this was a great pair going into the weekend. And it looks like we are getting a breakout right now. So right now, this is an excellent time to go ahead and look for a buy. I want to jump down and see. The only negative that you do right now, and that's the thing about breakouts, right? If you trade a breakout on the break, you want to have the stop loss. I'm going to take the previous price bar. See this previous price bar right here? On a breakout, if you fall below this, that is your exit. That's a clear and easy exit. Just take the previous price bar, the low of it when buying. And if price falls below that price bar, get out of the trade quickly. This breakout looks like it has a lot of potential. It's a good trade. The only thing I don't like about the trade is right now we're trading with the trend up, with the entry CCI also oversold. So price, and again, that's because it's a breakout, price is oversold toward the trend. You could wait for, if we do get a breakout above last week's range and then come back and test at all, that would be a safer entry. That is definitely a pair to watch, even get into right now. All right, let's take a look at the US dollar, Canadian dollar. All right, this is just going to be a quick glance because this pair is not offering any opportunity. You could see right here, we have this marked as the sell zone. This again is coming from the weekly forecast. This gives us a heads up of what to look for during the week. If you have a plan laid out ahead of time, it's a lot easier to trade. There's nothing going on here. You could see that price is just in this narrow range. You can see the dollar strengthening barely a little bit today. Now, what is good to note about this pair is that if the dollar were to start reversing right now today, it is showing strength. If you go to the DXY, that is the dollar index, you can see that it is trading near its highs today. And then you go back to the Canadian dollar right here, and you can see the Canadian dollar is actually showing gains against the dollar today. That's showing to you that if at any point the US dollar starts rolling over, getting weaker, that the Canadian dollar will most likely be the one to lead the way. In the meantime, we're just waiting for price to get closer to this sell zone to give us a better opportunity to get in. Let's take a look at our first yen pair of the day. Well, this is interesting. We have a lot of good news in the world. It seems like the US and China are possibly getting closer to a trade deal. We see that the US stock market is trading at all-time highs, and we are seeing some strength in the yen. So that's interesting. We have been for 2 weeks now. This blue box is the last week of trading. And then over here is the prior week. For 2 weeks, we've been in this narrow range. What that does tell us as these pairs are, and that's not just on the euro, Japanese yen, that's also on all yen pairs. Here is the British pound, Japanese yen. You could see where as the euro today is the pound, the yen is stronger than the euro. I also noticed here that the pound is stronger than the yen, right? Those are all giving me clues. We could see here that the Australian dollar looks like whether or not this breakout is going to hold or not is hard to tell. I'm just getting a quick glance at all of the yen pairs, which all are trading within that 2-week range. And I notice out of all of them that the euro, Japanese yen, that the euro is the weakest versus the yen. I see the other ones today are gaining against the yen. So this also tells me, and that's largely because we're seeing such a sell-off in the euro today against the dollar that is being translated over to the euro Japanese yen. But what this does tell me, if the yen does start to strengthen, and it is not right now, right? We're seeing the US dollar gaining against it, and we're seeing almost all other pairs, whether it's the pound, whether it's the Australian dollar or the New Zealand dollar, they're all positive versus the yen today. The only one negative is the euro. So that doesn't offer me a trade. I'm not going to get long the yen here because I see the yen is weak versus all other currency pairs. It's really important. But at the same time, I do see that out of all the yen pairs, if you want to go ahead and be short the yen pairs because they are showing weakness, the euro is not the one to do it against because it is the weakest among them. Let's move over to the Australian dollar, US dollar. And right now we see that, well, we see a couple of things. We do see why the dollar is having a strong day, that the Australian dollar, here it comes. I'm sorry for that. We do see the Australian dollar gaining against the US dollar today on the day when the dollar is showing strength, right? But we do see now, since that ISM non-manufacturing numbers came out, this Australian dollar is coming off. If I jump down to the 8-hour time frame, I'm probably going to notice during this last 8 hours, price is coming off. I see it tested today, the high of last week's range, and buyers just didn't come in any stronger. Probably it was because they see that China is looking to pressure the US to take off some tariffs. So this is not offering us any opportunity. If those trade talks break down, you're going to probably see a break of this channel right here. If you see a break of this trend line, at that point, it will be offering fantastic opportunity to get short this trade. We will probably come down and test the lows down here. But right now, the trend is up. Not only is the trend up, we are getting close to this support line here, this trend line support, and also this support right here. This is a fantastic place to buy. We do see dollar strength right now, so we do not want to be looking to buy it right now. What we do want to look and make sure that's green because this is a setup. If at any point over the next 8 hours, we make a higher high, that will be a fantastic opportunity to get into the Australian dollar, US dollar long. And reason being is price is now trading near a confluence of supports. That's the opportunity to start looking for longs, and you would just wait for price to take you back into that trade. Once price makes a higher high over whatever period you're trading, if it's the 4 hour, you would look for the first 4 hour price bar to make a higher high and get in. If it was on the daily time frame, you'd be standing aside. There's nothing to do there. All right, let us take a look at the pound versus the US dollar. We see the US dollar is just gaining against everything across the board. You can see the pound is also, ever since this enormous up move, consolidating these gains nicely over here. But it is still these last 2 weeks trading within this narrow range. Support is down here towards the 1.28 area. We are right now seeing dollar strength heading towards that support. You just want to be on hold right now. You see the trend is up. You do see that the entry CCI is oversold against the trend, giving you the possibility to begin looking for longs. Right now is just not the time to get long because we are seeing that dollar strength being the theme of the day. If at any point that reverses and then you see the previous price bars high taken out, that is a good opportunity to go ahead and nibble at a long trade. We're going to now take a look at the pound, Japanese yen. We're seeing a similar play. We are seeing yen weakness today. This is actually pretty bullish what we're seeing. All right. All right. So we are seeing price trade within this also narrow range now for a couple of weeks. And this means a big move's coming, whether it's up or down, we don't know yet, but a big move is coming right now. Definitely price is not only positive, the trend is up, but this trend line is holding. So all signs point to a continuation of this move that we saw. Price has consolidated for a couple of weeks, going on 2.5 now in this narrow range on the upper end of it. It looks like that the pound, Japanese yen, the pound is looking to extend some gains soon against the yen. What could you do here? Well, we're gonna have to wait for a breakout of this range over here, last week's range. Or we're gonna have to wait for price to come back down lower and test this trend line. There is no trade right now. The only trade that we see that looks really good today is, again, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. We saw going into the week that we had this beautiful triangle developing. We were waiting for a breakout. It looks like we're getting that breakout today. The breakout will be confirmed if it breaks against not only last week's high, which is over here at 109.26. You could see that also didn't hold. This is a false breakout over here, right? And today it looks like that breakout has a good chance of extending. What makes this trade so promising is that you have a couple 100 pips up to here to the 111 area before looking to take some profits. So this is the pair to be watching right now. Before we move on to Bitcoin, I do want to take a look at the Australian dollar, Japanese yen, and the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. We're going to start on the daily for both of these pairs, and nothing is going. We do see what looked like a breakout of last week's range, and it has since come off. Let's look down lower at the 8 hour. Nothing going on here. Again, if you're looking to take the yen weakness we see today, the US dollar is definitely the strength today, and that pair looks the most promising. Same thing here. New Zealand dollar is actually showing weakness versus the yen. So there's nothing going on there that looks too promising. I see the US dollar, Japanese yen, and then I see if for any reason we do see any type of US dollar weakness start rolling over, probably the Canadian dollar is the pair to look to play that to the short side. Let's move over to Bitcoin. And Now I'm watching Bitcoin on the 12-hour time frame. I'm using, this is a different true trend setting. This is true trend BTC. This is using the 333 period CCI period. And the way that we're trading is we're looking only to take a few trades every once in a while when there's a trend change. What this does is this will help us stay in the trend, whatever the trend of Bitcoin is, for the longest possible time. If it's only a few or several trades a year, that's fantastic. But what's going to happen is we're going to be on the right side of the trend and be able to catch these large moves, right? So right now we see that the true trend has been negative ever since right here. And we see that price is getting close right now to possibly a trend change. Right now, if you were looking to trade in and out of this, I have over here, this marked right here at about $9,034. That is the 2-day low. If you were looking to go short, because the trend is down, I'm not looking to trade in and out of Bitcoin using this true trend BTC. What I'm looking to do is capture the larger moves of Bitcoin. So I'm waiting here for a trend change to the upside. But if you are looking to trade in and out, the trend is down, right? And I would be looking for a break of the 2-day low right over there to go ahead and initiate a short position. If we do get in short, you have a nice 700, 800 pip move to what you would first see your first support over here at around 8,250. So that does offer a nice opportunity. That's about all that is happening right now on Bitcoin. And that is what we're looking at today for the markets. So this is my first session with you. I plan on doing this every day, going over currency pairs, any crypto pairs, until we find a groove. I think by doing this every day, we're going to really find a rhythm and be able to really get a good analysis and plan of attack for each day. First day, I honestly can't say that I feel like I have the flow down yet. I am absolutely very appreciative of any feedback that we could get from you guys on what you would be interested in seeing that would help you. Any questions that you may have at all regarding trading that I could help you with, as well as anything that we could offer to help make this just a better experience for everyone. I don't believe until we're doing this daily for a few months will we really gather a big community. But once people start seeing not only the value that's being offered, but the fact that it's consistent in every day, we really think that we'll be able to put together something special. And I look forward to that. So I want to really thank each and every one of you because this is the first live stream, right? This is the first live stream, and I'm really grateful for each and every one of you for being here with me. And honestly, I know that people could go ahead and be able to watch this in their own time later. But those that are here live, that means a lot. I appreciate it. I don't care if it's one other person. I'm happy to be sharing it and learning with you. So I hope you all have a great day, and I look forward to being here again and sharing more with you tomorrow. Again, any of your feedback and comments are greatly appreciated. Have a great day, everyone.